tight?
Nah, it's fine. Alright, so this is what we're working on today. It's a Pontiac, what is this called, Mike? Wave? Vibe?
Wave, yeah.
Wave. It's the same thing as Chevy Aveo, it's just a Canadian model. Alright, let's get started. So what we're gonna do, same motor as the Aveo, I think that E-Tech, Eco-Tech, whatever. Jack it up, take out the coolant, take out the air box, and then we'll start on the timing cover and get the belt out. Yeah, just loosen the, show them the drain plug, Mikey. There you go, that's just on the side of the rad, on, like legitly right above it, facing this way. We got the tire off here. Hey, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the belt, and then that crank pulley bolt right there, we're gonna take that one out. So we got the air box off. It was just, you could take off the lid first. I got a swivel and a 10 mil flat rate life. 10 mil 1, 2, 3, and then we undid the hose clamp. The IET sensor is just a push button. Push, pull it off. We left the PCB hose on it, just swung everything off out the way. Now we can see what we're working with. We got our upper mount, that's gonna get pulled off later. We're gonna pull the belt off, show you how to do that from underneath. We're gonna get the timing covers, upper and lower ones off too. You good? Mm-hmm. So what we should do, we recording?
Yeah.
All right, so what we gotta do is make sure we know which way the belt routes right now. We should draw a picture. We're gonna take a 14 mil here, double wrench it, and we're gonna tighten it. See as it takes up that slot.
That's all you gotta do?
That's all you gotta do.
There's nothing else holding that tight, it's just a spring.
Yeah, that way you don't have to tension belts anymore, but these things when they go out, they're like $100, right? So.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go.
That's wicked.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so big 17 mil. Snap-on gun. Easy. See that? I could have took that out with a 3/8 gun. Now we're gonna have to pry this shit out. What we'll do is we'll leave this on there. And let's see. Nah, there you go. Make this. This is gonna be easy, man. Jinx.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
This one does it have a key? We'll see. One sec. You know Hondas have that key, right? That everybody loses. No. Okay, so the timing gear is keyed. It looks like the timing belt's been done. Someone's got a paint mark on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sweet. Pause it. Okay, compressor kicked on, my bad. We got the upper cover off. We're gonna take this mount out because we want to get the lower cover off. We're missing, there's a bolt that's holding it somewhere, and we'll figure out in a minute. We got 1, 2, 3 14 mils, and then 2 17 mils. We're just gonna impact that off with a 1/2-inch gun. Before you do that, put a jack underneath the oil pan. You can use a block of wood if you only got one jack. We got 2 jacks luckily today, so we lucked out.
Okay, so what do you want me to do?
Impact off those bolts, cud.
Are you sure? Or did you get the jack underneath already?
That's exactly what I said.
I was trying to buy that Imperial.
Sell it to me. Here, let's get this.
Okay.
The 14 mil?
First?
17. Okay, so we're gonna take off.
First?
Yeah, we're gonna take off the bracket. Solid gun, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
I actually got a review on that gun on my channel. Plug my shit, Mike. Hey, look dead ass at my camera. Plug my shit.
What does that mean?
Plug my shit. Check out my channel.
Check out your channel?
Never mind.
What am I supposed to say here?
I was gonna be like, yo, I did a review because I did a review on this gun actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Broken.
Did it break?
Oh yeah.
For f***ing sakes.
What do you need that for? We'll put a little tack on there later.
Yeah, we'll weld the engine mount down, eh? Is it? Do they got nuts underneath or? This car's a hoopty, man. Yeah.
I don't know if we can try to punch it out. I doubt it.
Nah, whatever. We'll get to it.
Okay, well, let's spray this shit.
All right, so once we got that engine mount out, we only broke one bolt. We'll take care of that later. There was that center bolt here, so this one, before you even put the mount on, when we go to reinstall it, we're gonna have to remember to take that off. Now, we're gonna focus on taking the bracket off. We're gonna paint mark it later in a second, eh? We're gonna take this mount off, and then we could see our timing, and then I'll show you how to mark timing here. All right, so the mount's out, the mount bracket, I should say. So it's 10 mils, small guys. So we got 2 long ones and 2 short ones. So as you can see, short, long. So we're gonna keep these bolts together, put them aside, and that's our timing. What we're looking for is the factory timing marks. See this one here, it's got a line and a line, so you want these guys to be even. And then on the bottom, you see someone's done the timing, but they didn't do the water pump. That's what we're just
That's a slit, eh?
Yeah, so you see that one's going to have a divot in it. Someone's got a paint mark on it. Ugh, pardon my Parkinson's. So we're going to put a mark there from that guy onto the belt. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I mark timing belts. We're going to take off the cam gear. So I labeled I for intake. Actually, Mike did. E for exhaust. We did the original timing marks, which are cool, but I like making our own. So just pick a spot. I apologize for the quality here. So see how there's tooth valley. Just pick a tooth, index that, and then index a belt. This is going to make it idiot proof. This is going to help you when it comes to reinstalling this so you don't skip a tooth. Same thing on this one. Then I like to write top or whatever so we know that when we put it on, it's facing us. I don't like having a belt flip around, especially if we're reusing it. So that indexes our face. And then also on the bottom, I put 2 marks. One's on our existing mark, and then again, one that we make up. That's going to help us when it comes to realigning everything. Come off, they just need a little bit of rocking, take off. Now to do the water pump, everything's got to get taken off, and there's back cover, so it's a bit of a chore. So what you got to take off is the tensioner. You got 1, 2, 3, what size was it? 11? 12 mil, and then we got the center of the idler. Go ahead and spin. Spin every pulley that you can. There's your problem. So you can hear bearing noise. That one's trash. That's what we're changing to the idler. Sounds a little bit like a roller skate, but we're going to keep that for now because we only bought a water pump. For the backing plate, I guess we could call it, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10 mils? Yeah. Oh no, 2 go into that sensor. So 2 go into that upper cam sensor, 3 on the lower, and then you had this one oddball that was a 12 mil that went on the bottom. So this is that sensor that's got to get pulled out. Just 2, we left the harness on there just so we don't forget. You want to pull that backing plate out? Down here. Bows. There you go. So these are the bolts. They are 5 mil Allen, I believe. Pro tip, if you can, spend at least like 2 minutes on this stuff. Grab a pick, clean out the center section. Then once you put the bit in there, show the socket real quick. What I do is just take the socket off it, and then what we do is just hammer it, and that just make sure it's seated fully all the way. You want to make sure that it's at least seated, because these Allens will round the shit out of this ASAP. So break all 3 loose, and the only thing's holding that's the O-ring. So we're going to put the catcher underneath there, and then come back here with the pry bar and just tap it out. Right there. Okay, so here's the old water pump. Just tell the gasket is super. Hopefully, I can't even see. My phone's glaring, so beg my pardon, but gasket's all, yeah. Hey Mike, do me a solid, spin this real quick for me. Yeah, so you can tell it's toast. So what he's doing right now is he's sanding and brake cleaning it. We're trying to get it super, super clean. And I'll show you how to install the new one. We got the new water pump in after we cleaned it. We put out Vaseline, like a small smear around the O-ring, because we want this to rotate. As you see, I rotated it up. We're going to use a big set of pliers. These bolts, we just ran them down. Not tight, but just ran down so it's even. You want to show them how we're going to twist that? There you go. So it's moving in that oblong egg-shaped pattern. That's what's going to actually tighten up our belt. So that's there. These ones that we're going to leave loose because on the backing plate that goes on there, they give us provisions in the holes to actually go and retighten these ones afterwards. We're going to tighten that once the belt is on and tight. So next up, put on the backing plate. So we just threw the tensioner in, the idler in. The cam gears we threw back in, we tightened it. We held these guys with a big old channel lock plier while I tightened that 17 mil. Remember on the water pump, we can still get to the bolt holes. So 1, 2, 3 of those Allen bolts. So we're going to throw the belt on that we indexed. If you're throwing on a new belt, transfer your paint marks exactly over to the new belt. Exactly the same. And that'll make it idiot proof. That way you don't have to worry about lining up lines afterwards, but it's always good to double check afterwards. But this is a cheap, easy way to do it. We'll throw this on, we'll get back to you in a sec. We got the tension off the water pump. Water pump's going to be doing the tension. So we got it, as you can see, the oblong side is more faced towards here, so it's less tension here. We've got the belt somewhat routed, and as you can see, the teeth are going to be, this is why we do our paint marks, going to be like a tooth or 2 off. That's fine. All you got to do is pull the belt off, rotate the sprocket until everything lines up, then you can put a zip tie or whatever in there just to hold it tight for the time being. That right there will indicate everything's in time. Go ahead, I don't care. All right, so here we are. What we want to do is make sure our belt matches our cam gear. We're going to ignore these marks for now. I just wanted the belt to match the cam gear, so I got one of these binder clips, we could call them. Got a zip tie down here, and then the bottom one all the way down. Actually, right there lines. As you can see, it's off the body. I don't care about that right now because the whole motor's, it's twisted clockwise right now. Ignore that. We're going to check that afterwards. But paint marks from the cog to the belt is what we're doing. Cog belt lines up, cog and belt line up. Perfect. So when it comes to tensioning this, we're leaving the Allens loose like we said. We're going to grab this. A specialty tool would be awesome if that had a crow's foot, and then we can use ratchet, but we're just using a big old pair of channel locks. And the way you know it's tight is... Jesus, Buddha.
Hold that.
Yeah, can you hold that right there for me? See that point? That pointer? Yeah, let's see if I move the light. There, perfect. That pointer. There's a pointer directly behind it, exact same shape. And we're going to turn it till those two pointers line up. You can't tell on the video right now because the pointers are lined up perfectly. So there's an indicator on the back and an indicator on the front. So when those line up, you are perfect. So when that's lined up, we're going to tighten down these water pump bolts right here. So 1, 2, 3 of those 5mm Allen heads. So the belt's on. What we also did is we spun the crank over twice. And then when we spin it over twice, our belt marks aren't going to match the cam gears anymore. So we're going to do the original cam gears, what they say. So make sure this line lines up to there. And then the bottom one, the tab there, lines up to the slit right there. So once you spin the motor over a little bit, your paint marks on the belt are never ever going to line up. So we're going to just use your existing marks. This is just a double way to check it. If your paint marks and everything on the belt line up with the cam gears, you're good. This is just extra insurance, which we went to make sure it's fun. Then you also want to make sure your tensioner, the little pyramid part, the pointer lines up with the back pointer. That means the tensioner is good. The belt is solid. You're going to have a little bit of slack in it, right? But it should be fairly... Wiggling the motor while we at it. Should be able to at least get some type of turnage or almost a half turn out of it. So there you go. We're going to fire on the back covers, top covers, mount, slap it all together, and we'll let you know how this goes. Checking the coolant. Yeah, she's hot, eh? But no, everything's good. It sounds good. Timing belt's tight. She works. Just backyard replacement on how to do this. Alright, we'll put some water in it. So there you go. If you like this, subscribe to the channel, and at least drop a like. Let me know you watched it this far, or if it even helped you. Don't even subscribe to the channel if it ain't for you. If it helped you, it helped you. Okay, sign off.
What am I gonna say?
I don't know. Anyways, peace.